Hi people. Hi people, it's Annelia, or you can call me Island Curl, and today I will be giving you some hair growth tips. Now, you may be asking yourself what makes me a credible source. Okay, now you may be wondering what makes me a credible source. I've been natural from 2014, right? And so I've had time to do trial and error. My hair is the length it is because I've big chopped like 3 times. I lied, 4. I big chopped 4 times. The very first time I big chopped is because I didn't know what I was doing and I bleached my hair, wasn't treating it, wasn't doing what I needed to do to keep it, healthy. So I chopped it off. That's when I first went natural. Then I did another big chop. It's a mini chop. When I went to the States for school. The reason being, I was in a new environment. Like, it's hot here in the Bahamas, so the hair care regimen that I was using here in the Bahamas, it was starting to work for me. My hair was starting to grow, starting to flourish. But then I went to Missouri. Now, if you've never been to Missouri, let me tell you about Missouri. Missouri is cold, and I only went to school during the cold months. Like, I may get like 1 or 2 months like in the fall semester where it's like a little warm, but like for the majority of the time that I was in Missouri, it was always cold. Once summer hit, I was out here and I was back in the Bahamas. So for the longest time, I only knew how to care for my hair in, hot weather. But anyway, so that's when I big chopped again because I'm like, ooh, I don't know what's happening to my hair. It's not acting right and it's breaking. And that was the second big chop. The third big chop, I just did it because when I big chopped the first time, it was uneven. And so I wanted to even it out and it still didn't grow back even. Now we're here and I big chopped once again. But this fourth time, by this fourth time that I big chopped, I did know what I was doing. My hair was growing, it was flourishing, doing really well. And I big chopped because I had bleached my hair and I did not take care of it. Like, I knew that I was supposed to take care of it. I knew what products would work for me. I knew what products my hair liked. I knew I had a regimen. I was sticking to it. Stuff was happening. But then, I don't know. I got lazy. That's okay. I don't want to get too personal. I started going through depression and anxiety, and I might as well just be real with y'all. Caring for my hair or myself on the whole just was not a priority. I kind of just let myself go. I kept my hair in high puffs just so I wouldn't have to fix my hair every day to like go to school or wherever it is I had to go. My hair was already done. I wouldn't have to do much. When you are going through anxiety and depression, you just kind of lose any motivation to do anything. Self-care is not a priority. So that took over and I got damage here in the middle of my head. That is my stress point, but on top of being my stress point, it was just the tension from keeping it in a high puff so I wouldn't have to keep fixing it. And so, that affected stuff as well. I wasn't sticking to a regimen. I'm kind of giving away tips as I'm giving this intro. I wasn't doing much of anything, which is why my hair wasn't flourishing. So basically, I'm going to tell you mistakes that I've made and how I've gotten my hair to grow back to the point that it's at now. It's not like I'm not saying I'm Rapunzel. I always say that. I don't tell people I don't act like I'm Rapunzel. But I do know what my hair wants, what my hair needs, and I've learned from my many, many mistakes. I'm not going to sit up here and act like I'm perfect and act like I had this natural hair thing down from like day one and I never big chopped a billion times. No, I've big chopped many of times. And I'm just going to share my journey with you, share the mistakes that I've made so that you can hopefully prevent making those same mistakes, and then we can hop on this natural hair journey together and grow long, long, beautiful tresses. For me, I would like hair down to, let's say, just before my booty. So I'd like hair to stop at like right here, right here to right here is anywhere. I'm fine with that. That is my goal. It's not going to happen overnight. It may not even happen in a year. It may not happen in 2 years, but sweetie, it will happen. When my hair is wet, my hair is about here. So, shrinkage and whatnot. This is the length it's at with shrinkage. But anyway, let's get into these tips. So I'm gonna give you the mistake, and then I'm gonna tell you a tip to prevent making that mistake. My mistake number one was not knowing my hair porosity. Now, I made a video on hair porosity before. In case you did not watch it, I'll link it down below. But just to give you a quick summary and overview, porosity is how your hair absorbs moisture. So there are 3 types of porosity: low porosity, medium porosity, high porosity. Low porosity, I'm low porosity by the way, is hair that it's hard for moisture to get in, but once that moisture is in the hair, it's hard for it to escape. So the challenge for low porosity hair is, you know, trying to get the moisture in. And with medium porosity, let me just tell y'all something. I'm a strong believer that medium porosity hair is a myth. It's a fairy tale. I don't. Do you know anybody who's medium porosity? I don't. Just saying. But yeah, so I'm just gonna skip past that. Medium porosity is like you got perfect hair. Like moisture easily comes in and it easily stays in. There ain't no such thing, sweetie. The last hair porosity is high porosity. High porosity hair, basically, it's like moisture is so easy to come in, but it's also so easy to like escape. So when you have high porosity hair, it's almost like, yeah, I can moisturize my hair easily, but hey, that moisture also escapes pretty easily too. So my mistake was not knowing my porosity. Like I said, I'm low porosity. I did not know what kind of products works best for low porosity hair. Low porosity hair, you're supposed to use lightweight products. Lightweight products are easier to penetrate your hair shaft. So if you're low porosity and it's hard to get moisture in there, and lightweight products are easier to penetrate the hair shaft, you see where I'm going with this, right? Right? Okay. Know your porosity. If you're high porosity, you need thicker, heavier products. Medium porosity, fairy tale. We can deal with that. My next mistake was not sticking to a regimen. So I was the type of natural who did my hair when I wanted, whether that be do it today and then don't do it again till like maybe a month from now or 2. You know, just to letting laziness take over. Don't do that. Basically, you want to create a regimen and then stick to it. What I mean by that is wash your hair. But we're talking about washing hair, right? Let me tell you something. I do not want to bash anybody who co-washes, but sis, co-washing is gross. I mean, I'm sorry if you co-wash, but I honestly believe in cleansing your hair, especially if you're somebody like me who uses gel like my life depends on it. Wash your hair. Do not co-wash. Don't co-wash. It's gross. Your hair needs to be clarified. That's going on to another tip. You know what? No, I'll include it in this one. To grow long, healthy, beautiful hair, you need clean scalp. You need a clean scalp. So if you are a person like me who uses a lot of gel and a lot of product every single week, you cannot, I repeat, you cannot co-wash and then like wash your hair with an actual shampoo like once, twice a month. No, that's not gonna work. Anyway, I was talking about regimens. I got off topic. Having a regimen, your hair gets used to this regimen. Your hair starts to flourish with the regimen. So for me, my regimen is every Sunday I wash my hair, except for when I have in like protective styles, like how I have in these mini twists. But every Sunday I wash my hair with a shampoo, either a moisture one or a clarifying one. And if it's been a while, I'll probably use like an Aztec clay mask with apple cider vinegar just to give it that extra cleanse, make sure it's clean, make sure my scalp has been detoxed. Then I'll follow up with a deep conditioner. I don't use regular conditioner. Why? Because I mean, I feel as though if you're gonna deep condition, you don't need to use regular conditioner. They're trying to swing you. You don't need to condition if you're using deep conditioner. After deep conditioning, I do the LCO method, except I'm not sure if I should say LCO because I rarely use oils on my hair nowadays. So my third step is actually the LC method. I'll use a leave-in conditioner or / liquid. I usually use some form of leave-in conditioner or hair milk. For low porosity people, hair milk is basically a leave-in conditioner. It's a lightweight version of a leave-in conditioner because leave-in conditioners are usually very heavy. So I use the LC method, leave-in conditioner / liquid, and then a cream. Now for me, I used to use like curling creams, styling creams, but here's where natural hair gets weird. Like we have all these rules, but none of them are really set in stone. Nothing is like fixed to just everybody. Everybody's hair is different. So although I'm low porosity, and people may say that, hey, butters like shea butter and cocoa butter and mango butter are really heavy, my hair actually loves shea butter. I rave about it all the time on my channel. My hair, woo-cha, my hair. Baby, I put some shea butter on this and my hair just be like, oh my god. My hair loves it. See that? Shea butter. It's COVID, I'm not kissing the bottle. So I use shea butter, even though the internets would tell you shea butter is terrible for your low porosity hair. But basically, I'm just listing off my regimen. Everybody's hair regimen is different. Everybody uses different products. Everybody, you know, you gotta figure out your hair. So sticking to a regimen so your hair can get used to it and know what to expect. Tip number 3, because I'm rambling. Tip number 3, or mistake number 3 that I made was I would bleach my hair, and I mentioned this earlier. I'd bleach my hair and not take care of it after bleaching. I've been bleaching my hair from since I first went natural. With the 2 hair bleaching videos that I have on my channel, you guys see that I always use an Alpha G 2-step protein treatment afterwards. Now, some people use Olaplex. I've never used Olaplex. I want to, a bond builder like Olaplex or something like that. I see Curlsmith has a bond builder out too. I do want to try those maybe the next time I bleach my hair, because there will be a next time. I will maybe try a bond builder. You need something like that to help rebuild your hair, strengthen your hair after bleaching. Bleaching is a chemical process. You do not want to just bleach your hair and then leave it and then go weeks without like doing it. Listen, the fastest way to damage your hair is through heat and chemical processing with no type of protection or treatment after. Please treat your hair, people. There's some stuff that I did not know back in the day. Now I do. And now I can bleach my hair, and people are like, how you bleach your hair so much and it don't drop off? Because I treat it. I do. And after like a intense treatment like Alpha G or maybe an bond builder, you continue to add protein into your regimen, just a little bit. Especially if you're low porosity, you don't need much protein, so just add a little bit. Like in the product haul, I bought a product that has protein in it. It's not a protein treatment, and it helps add the little bit of protein that you need to help strengthen your hair after chemically processing. Treat your hair and moisturize your hair after chemically processing. And that leads me into thing number 4. I was not constantly moisturizing my hair. Moisture is key. Curly hair is already naturally dry, so you have to provide moisture. Listen, you cannot be lazy when you're natural, and that is something I learned the hard way. If you're gonna be lazy and don't want to do your hair, don't be natural, because your hair will never grow, especially if you're expecting hair growth. Don't expect nothing if you're lazy, honey, because it takes time, it takes effort. Don't be lazy. So moisture, just add in that moisture. That's what the LOC and LCO methods are for. It's for adding moisture. And some people can go a whole week. They could pull off going a whole week without moisturizing my hair. Sometimes I can do that. But then there are some people who, you know, they have to moisturize every 2 days, every 3 days, every 4 days. You have to figure out your hair. That in itself is a tip, figuring out your hair. Trial and error. That right there is a tip in itself. I had to do a lot of trial and error. But moving on, mistake 5, not trimming. I used to be like, I was so like, I don't want to say obsessed, but I was so, and I won't say desperate either. I'm not desperate. I'm not desperate. I just wanted my hair to grow so fast, and I wanted my hair to grow so long that I was skipping trims, which I should have known that was stupid. I know a lot of people, they try to hold on to length, but your hair gets split ends and fairy knots, and you have to trim it off. Otherwise, your hair is just gonna keep splitting and splitting and splitting and splitting. Let's say this is a hair strand. This is the end of the hair strand now. This is the end, and down here is the root. And when you have a split end, it splits down the middle, right? And as time goes by, if you don't cut it off, it keeps splitting and splitting and splitting until it reaches the root and it just falls out your head. You might as well just trim it off and save some hair instead of losing the whole strand. Which one seems better to you? Yeah, I skipped so many trims. Over trimming is also a mistake. Don't over trim. Like, yes, trim your hair, but trim as needed. And there's no set time. Like, some people like to say every 6 months. Some people don't need to trim their hair every 6 months. Some people need to trim their hair way less than that. Some people need to trim their hair more. Listen to your hair. Know your hair. Learn your hair. Another tip do not, hear me again, do not do a lot of tight hairstyles. I mentioned the tight ponytails, the tight puffs. Breakage in the middle of my head from tight puffs. It's catching up now because I'm giving it the TLC that it needs to grow and flourish and catch up with the rest of my hair. But honey, you don't want it to get to that point where your hair is like long in other places or longer in other places, and the middle of your hair is like this long. You don't want that. Your hairstyles will look so silly. You're gonna look so silly. And if that's happening to you, don't feel bad. It happened to me. All you have to do, give it the TLC it needs so it can grow and catch up. And it's not just puffs that can cause that breakage. It's tight braiding, tight twisting. Any tension that's on the roots of your hair or your hair on the whole is just bad, and it's gonna cause breakage. So be very gentle with your natural hair. I need some water. But yeah, another mistake I made was adding too much moisture to my hair. You see, we like to listen to the internets, and sometimes the internets don't explain stuff all the way, or they make us scared, make us do things that we really should know better. Listening to some things on the internet about natural hair is almost like going on WebMD to diagnose some symptoms, and now all of a sudden you think you're dying. Like, the internet's told me, right, that because I'm low porosity, I should only add moisture to my hair. And here I was, only adding moisture to my hair for months and months and months and months. No protein whatsoever. Keep in mind, our hair is made up of keratin. Keratin is protein. So, it only makes sense that we would need protein in our hair. The issue is, child, storage is full. So I forgot where I was. I think it was talking about low porosity hair and protein. Basically, I was just saying our hair is made up of protein, so we need protein in it. Being low porosity, if you are low porosity, all it means is that you need to be careful of how much protein you put in your hair. Only use protein when you need it. Like I said, my hair is bleached. I need protein to re-strengthen, rebuild it, right? But, oh, I remember what I was saying. My mistake when I was listening to the internet. The internet was telling me that I must not put protein in my hair. But my hair needs protein because it's made up of protein. Plus, I'm bleaching it. It needs the protein. I wasn't putting no protein. And so it got damaged and it broke off. Hair gone. So, like I say, sometimes listening to the internet is like trying to diagnose yourself via WebMD. Don't do it. Sometimes you just have to figure out what works for you. I'm not saying you can't use what the internets tell you as like a guide of some sort, but sometimes you just have to make up your own rules. Like I always say, natural hair is trial and error. Make up your own rules, sis. Do it. I have way more tips, honestly I do, but I think that's it for today. If anything, I'll make a part 2. Oh, this is an important one, which I think is also an obvious one. Stay away from unnecessary heat, especially flat irons. When I was transitioning, I used to wear like a weave. Remember when people used to wear those and not wigs? But yeah, I used to wear weave, and I used to have leave out in the front. And so I would flat iron the front of my hair because I was transitioning. I'd flat iron the front of my hair so that it would match the weave in the back. And honey, when I was ready to be fully natural, the front of my hair was so heat damaged. It looked so bad. And then I had to cut it off. It was the most awkward phase. You know, like how the different lengths, you'd be like, oh, when your hair is up here, it's like the awkward length. No, my hair had multiple awkward lengths because, man, the front was so short. I looked ridiculous. I look stupid. One of the most important mistakes that I need to mention is you gotta have patience. I didn't have any patience. I don't know if I was expecting my hair to grow just like that or to grow overnight. Honey, it don't work like that. Especially when you're rebuilding your hair from a damaged state. You have to have that patience. Like, I have some people who would message me or like call me, or they'd be like, Annelia, why isn't my hair growing? Your hair is growing. It's just not growing to the length of Rapunzel's hair overnight. Hair grows, I can't remember how many inches a month, but it doesn't grow that much. Like, you just have to have patience. Like, I used to be that girl who wanted my hair to grow like booty crack length in like 2 weeks. It's not gonna happen, especially if you're not putting in the work. Let's just understand that and get that through our minds. It's not gonna happen. It doesn't work like that. Another tip too, always deep condition. Whether it be a moisture deep conditioner or a protein deep conditioner, deep condition your hair every week. Or if your regimen is set to you wash routine every 2 weeks, then every 2 weeks deep condition. Get that moisture in there, please. People like to skip the deep conditioning part because they figure, oh, that's like a waste of time. Deep conditioner really works deeper than regular conditioner. First of all, it really gets in there, penetrates the hair shaft. Yes, it's more time consuming, but it really does help. Deep conditioning is really essential. You don't know how much you need it until you start to do it like religiously. But yeah, y'all, that is all the tips that I have for today. I can always make another video if I remember something else that could be beneficial to you guys. And also, I don't know everything, so if you have some tips or mistakes are willing or can share with me and everybody else who may come across this video, go right ahead. You leave them right in the comments. I like to learn from people too. That's all for today. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Do that for me, please. Thank you. Bye, y'all.